Do you speak to yourself the way you would speak to your friends? Do you speak highly of yourself and speak highly to yourself? Or do you knock yourself down if you do something wrong? There is such power in the two simple words, I am. How we speak to ourselves is so very important. Our subconscious mind will actually believe everything we say to it. So even if you jokingly say you're stupid, your mind is going to believe that. This is why we have to speak highly of ourselves and speak positive affirmations to ourselves every day. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. Our whole lives, we've learned to speak low to ourselves. If we do something wrong, we reprimand ourselves or punish ourselves. We call ourselves stupid, even for simply dropping something. This is definitely learned behavior. It's something that we've been, brainwashed into doing. Like, we always speak so negatively of ourselves. And if we get into situations of trauma or abuse, we always blame ourselves. And we always are hard on ourselves afterwards. But what is so important is how we do speak to ourselves. Because what we believe and what we see ourselves as is how the world is going to see us. So if we're speaking negatively to ourselves all the time, if we say, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm not a good person, that's how you're going to eventually believe anyway, but that's how the world is going to see you as well. We're all beautiful human beings. We just need to affirm that to ourselves every day, because what we speak it manifests into our reality. And it's not even just speaking to yourself, it's just speaking out loud or speaking in your mind about the day. If you wake up in a bad mood and say, oh God, I don't want to get out of bed, it's going to be a shit day, you're going to have a shit day. This is the power of language, the power of I am, the power of affirmations, the power of gratitude. This is so, so important, and what I've said a few times lately is, if you find it hard to speak to yourself well or speak highly to yourself, see yourself as a friend. And how would you speak to your friend? Would you reprimand your friend for being in a toxic relationship or being abused? Would you reprimand your friend, or agree with your friend if they call themselves bad names? No, you would nurture them, you would care for them, and you would encourage them. So start to speak to yourself as you would speak to a loved one. And this can be very helpful, and this is the thing with affirmations as well. As I said, your unconscious mind will believe absolutely everything you say to it. So if you jokingly say that you're stupid or jokingly say that you're this or that, your mind will believe it. So don't even, and that's the thing, it's just banter. Sorry, this Ireland especially, we have this thing of back and forth banter, right? And I'm all for banter. I'm all for having the crack. Let's have the crack. But oftentimes people banter about each other's personalities or appearances. This is not good. This actually hurts your inner wounding and your inner child. You know what I mean? It's not fucking banter if you're picking on somebody's appearance or personality or opinion, or you know what I mean? We can all take the piss out of each other, but when you actually personally say something about somebody's appearance or personality, this can actually hit a nerve. So you have to be so careful, not just how you speak to yourself, but how you speak to others. You know what I mean? And as I said, I'm all for a laugh. This is what life is about, is, joking, flirting, or having banter with a person. But when it comes to physical or personal things, we have to really be mindful of what we say. Because, if you've got especially when we all have a wounded inner child, until we heal them. It does, when we're wounding, or when we're unhealed, or when we are feeling wounded, any words can make you feel worse. And even the words we say to ourselves, and that's the thing. When I was in a low vibration energy, banter from my dad was not banter. It was literally like a punch to my inner child every time he said something, because you believe it. When you're in that low vibration energy, you believe those words of another person and of yourself. So flip the switch. Start talking highly of yourself. Start saying, I am. whatever you want to be. And this is it. Like, you know, we can start bringing our affirmations in before we even believe them. So, you know, before I became a coach, I just kept saying to myself, I'm a successful life coach. I'm a successful coach. I'm a successful coach. And when I was in a low vibrational energy, the ones I used anytime I'd spiral was I am safe, I am healthy, and I'm protected. Because I had really bad, you know, mental health at the time, and I was worrying about I was stressing over my physical health as well. So I kept saying the affirmations, I am safe, I am healthy, and I am protected. You know, and that really did help me. And like anytime I'd spiral or go down, I'd be like, I'm safe, I'm healthy, I'm protected. You know, even though I was in such a, you know, I've been in the middle of an anxiety attack, and, you know, I'd say these words to myself and they would calm me down. You know what I mean? Even if you don't believe the words, they have power. Your unconscious mind believes them. Your conscious mind might not believe them. It might take a very long time to believe them. But this is your unconscious will believe them instantly. And that's where gratitude comes in as well. Like, you know, if you say you're grateful for something that hasn't happened yet, but say you're grateful for it as if it's in the now moment, this can bring things in quicker and can help you in your spirals as well. So this is it. Like, so what just write down these affirmations, put them on your wall, think of them every day. Instead of saying I am unhappy, I am sad, you know, my world is depressing or whatever. Say something like, I am happy, I am healthy, I am wealthy. Today is going to be a good day. You know, it doesn't have to be I am all the time, but the power of I am is unreal. But that's the thing with I am. It's identity. This is the thing. Who do you identify as? And we normally, from past trauma, we identify as our past self. That is the conditioned person, the wounded person, the one that was abused, the one that doesn't think well of themselves. And like, I used to be like that. I had such low self-worth. My mum left when I was a toddler, so my wounded inner child felt worthless for most of her life, and in turn, obviously, that made me feel worthless. So this is the energy I felt. I felt unworthy, and in turn, my life was grey, and I attracted more things to make me feel unworthy. So more traumatic relationships, more narcissistic energy. And this is it. When I started to heal that, I stopped attracting abusive energy. So it is very powerful. When I was in that wounded state, I was depressed all the time. I was wondering, will it ever change? I was like, was this all there is? But I lived in a mentality of this is all there is. But this is the thing, and I identify, this is other kind of another side note. Who do you think you are? I said that I did that video was it yesterday? Like, who do you think you are, or who do you know you are? You think you're one way, and you're manifesting that reality. Like my opinion was, I was born in Ireland, so I'm born a drinker. This was before I gave up drink, and I was like, I can't give up drink. Because I was born in Ireland, I was born a drinker. And I used to say, there was alcohol in my blood when I was conceived, so therefore I should be a drinker. Like, you know, having that mentality is fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, I was a smoker, I was a drinker, and I was a partier, and that's who I was, and that's who I wanted to be for the rest of my life. No. Like, when I was in a narcissistic relationship with a guy 17 years older than me who had an alcohol problem, my dream was to be in the pub every weekend. That was who I thought I could be, or who I wanted to be. This was my mentality. And, you know, when I was giving up the drink and the fags, if you say to yourself, I'm off the fags, or I'm off the drink, you're literally saying, I am a smoker and I'm a drinker, and there's a window here for me to go back on the fags and the drink. But you have to change your identity into, I am not a smoker and I am not a drinker. Don't even say you're an ex-smoker. Just say, I am no longer a smoker. Or no, I'm not a smoker. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned now, I am a non-drinker and non-smoker. You know, but my old identity, I felt this is who I was and this is who I had to be. So, you know, and another thing with exercise, I identified as a lazy person who was allergic to fucking exercise. That was my reality. But now I'm a person who exercises. It's only 15 minutes every day, but it's fucking something, isn't it? It's better than nothing. So this is it. Identify as the person you want to be. And this is the thing. We can manifest our future. Our reality is the reality that we're jumping into. The person we were was a conditioned person. I was a drinker because what? I was Irish, because my dad was an alcoholic, because, you know, everyone in my environment was drinking. So yeah, I had to be that way. Did I? No, I fucking didn't. You know, I chose to leave that environment and I chose to choose something else. You know, I was surrounded by cigarettes, so therefore I smoked. But I chose not to smoke. This is learned behavior. And I unlearned it to become the person I truly am, to shed those layers, to become who I am, not who I was. So we can change our reality just by starting with how we speak about ourselves or how we speak to ourselves. Do you know, so I was saying, like, before I became a coach, I never thought it was possible. You know, I was like, I did help people. I was always coaching my friends, you know, my family, and it was something that I did all the time, but I never thought I could do it professionally. And it was just like, I had to manifest that. I had to believe it before I saw it. And the only way we can believe something before we see it is if we tell our unconscious mind. And that's by telling our unconscious mind the truth, which our conscious mind doesn't believe yet, but it will if you keep telling it. Keep affirming it every day. I am happy. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am a life coach. I am whatever you want to be. I am in a happy relationship. You know, I'm single, like, but I can say this manifestation every day and manifest in a relationship. You know, you can manifest in anything you want. I am going to have a great day. Like, before I wake up in the morning, I didn't do this before because I was lazy. I didn't get up early in the mornings either. And I used to get up late and I used to be like, oh, I don't want to do it today. Do you know what I mean? And now I get up early, but before I get out of the bed, I do a list of things I'm grateful for. My girls, my animals, like my home, my health, my car, you know, all these kind of things. And and then I get out and I'm like, this is going to be a good day. And I say that, you know what I mean? And you know, we're tired. I'm not really going to believe that it's going to be a good day. But when I say it, I can manifest that. But if I wake up and go, oh my God, I don't want to do today. Today's going to be shit. Today's going to be fucking shit. You know what I mean? We have to switch our brains. We have to rewire the happy in, the positive in. Stop speaking negatively about yourself because it's not true. But if you keep saying it, it's going to be true. You know, the Henry Ford quote keeps coming up to me. If you say you can or you can't, you're right. Because if you say you can, of course you can. If you say you can't, of course you can't. Because they believe that. But everyone can. We can all fucking change. If I can change from the mentality, I was born Irish, so I was born a drinker. And now I don't drink. And I will never drink again. Ever, like. You know what I mean? I will never let alcohol touch these lips again. Ever. Because I will not put poison into my body. But I had the mentality that I was born this way. I am this way, so this is it. No, you are the way you want to be. Or the way you want to manifest. So this is the power of self-talk. Speak highly to yourself. Speak to yourself as if you're speaking to a friend. This is so powerful. You know, and I was having anger issues that I've been working on for so long. And the minute I realized it was because I wasn't forgiving myself, I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. You know, and I started to see that, I started to see myself outside of it. And I was like, okay, if a friend blamed herself or themselves for the abuse that they suffered, you'd kind of fucking slap them. Well, I don't like violence, but you'd metaphorically slap them and say, snap out of it. You did nothing wrong. You have nothing to forgive yourself for because you did nothing fucking wrong. And then I started to see it from that perspective to myself, and I was like, I released that because I was just like, you know what I mean? If I saw that with somebody else, I would tell them, you know, that they didn't have anything, you know, to be angry with themselves for. And seeing it that way can really release something very quickly. So do that. Speak to yourself as if you'd speak to a loved one. Do you know what I mean? If somebody close to you was suffering the way you are, how would you speak to them? Please start speaking to yourself like that. Because you deserve to live a happy, fulfilling life. And that's not, your miserable existence isn't going to change if you continue to see yourself as your old identity. And if you continue to speak low of yourself. So be mindful how you speak to yourself and mindful how you speak to others as well. As I said, banter isn't always good if you're speaking on someone's personality or their behavior or their looks. That's not banter. That's insult. And do you know what I mean? So this, especially in Ireland, be careful how you speak with your banter, because if you speak ill of somebody through banter, I was only joking. Yeah, you're still hurting their inner child. You're still picking on their unworthiness. You know what I mean? You don't know how someone is feeling. So if you take the piss out of them making a mistake, it's not always taken lightly. And it's the same when you speak to yourself. Do you know what I mean? Do you know, telling yourself you're stupid for dropping something can actually really detrimentally affect your inner child. So please start to speak highly of yourself. Use the power of I am, because you are great. You are enough. You are worthy. You are beautiful, and you deserve everything that you want to manifest. And it all changes with how you speak to yourself. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help in your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help you on your path.